Hello, greetings everyone. Thanks so much for joining us today for our final webinar of our fall series. We are delighted that so many folks have participated and we look to finish strong with today's presenter. We're with Jeremy Henderson, who is Director of the Office of Student Care and Wellbeing, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about how they provide care and support for UA students and how you can help connect your students to the resources that they might need should they hit what might be a little bit more than just a bump in the road. So thanks so much, Jeremy, for being here with us. We appreciate it, and we look forward to all the great information you have to share with us.
Thank you very much. Again, this is Jeremy Henderson, Director of Student Care and Wellbeing. And I'm going to talk a little bit about our office, Student Care and Wellbeing, and how we can care and support for your student while they are here at the University of Alabama. Just to give you a little bit of an overview of Student Care and Wellbeing and what we are all about, we have programs and services that are designed to support UA students by intervening during a crisis, in the immediate aftermath of a crisis, trying to connect students to the appropriate on and off campus resources to assist them. Just like Kim said, she mentioned students may face what might be a little more than a bump in the road, and I think that's a good way to talk about what we do. A crisis situation can be a big crisis or a small crisis or anything in between, and we just know that there are so many different bumps in the road that can hit students when they are here as students, and we want to have an office that can provide different ways to help them be able to manage those different situations and continue to do what they came here to school for, which is to have a great college experience and to be able to focus on their academics and to be able to progress on towards a degree. Student Care and Wellbeing has services that are available on some level 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. And we just try to be there for students. We try to provide advocacy for them when they need it with instructors based on the different situations that they're going through. So that's a little bit of an overview about Student Care and Wellbeing, who our office is and what we do. I'm going to tell you at this time of 4 different areas where our office tries to assist students. The first area is the On-Call Dean program, which I'll talk about in some detail in a minute. We also help students in need, and this can be a number of different types of need, whether it's financial assistance, students in need of food or other areas. We also help students of concern. This might be students that are going through a mental health concern, or students that are facing issues with roommates or others on campus and they're concerned about their behaviors and they're just not sure where to turn. Our office can assist in that, and I'll talk about that a little bit more. And then we also try to help students by providing opportunities for education and outreach. So I'll begin by going into a little bit of detail about our On-Call Dean program. I mentioned that Student Care and Wellbeing is available 24/7, and the way that we do that is through our On-Call Deans. We have professional staff members in our office that are available, like I said, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So during the evening hours, during weekends, these are staff members who are on call to be able to respond to students when they are in a crisis situation. And primarily, this happens when students are transported to the hospital here in Tuscaloosa. If a student is transported to the hospital for any reason and our office becomes aware of it, then we will send the on-call dean to the hospital so that they can check in with the student, see if they need any support. Some might find this surprising, but one of the most common things that a student needs is they need a way to charge their cell phone when they are at the hospital. So a student might be, out during the day, or it's late at night and something happens and they are at the hospital and they want to be able to keep in touch with parents and family and others, but they've left their charger at home. And so just something as simple as providing a cell phone charger is something that our on-call deans can do. But we will show up, and for many of our students, this may be the first time that they've been to the hospital without a parent or someone there to assist them or help them. And we just want them to know that they are not alone while they're here at the University of Alabama, to be able to be present and provide whatever support that we can. And so we have 2 different staff members that fulfill this role. They serve, one of them serves for 7 days on, and then they will rotate off when the second staff member will serve a week at a time. And so we keep this rotation so that we can have our on-call deans just ready to respond whenever our students need them to be there. When the on-call dean meets with the student, they will then write up a report that is passed on to those of us in the office during the day so that we can continue to follow up with the student, providing support and follow-up and resources for them as they continue on through the next few days or when they get out of the hospital. And one of the most common things that we can assist students with is when they are in the hospital and we learn they're going to miss class, if they're going to be there for a few days, the on-call deans can let us know what's going on, and our office can send an instructor notification letter. And this letter is not meant to serve as an excuse, but we like to offer it as a courtesy notification so that professors are going on, and while the students are in the midst of this crisis, they don't have to worry about getting something out to their instructors. They can just catch up with them after the fact once they're able. And so it's something that can take a little bit of anxiety off of the minds of our students. And so now that we've talked a little bit about the on-call dean, I will tell you about how we help students that are going through different types of need situations. I'm always that guy who forgets to silence his cell phone, if you heard that out there. But the other area that Student Care and Wellbeing will help students is just there's a variety of different ways where students are facing different types of needs. So I mentioned the physical illness, the injuries that might be faced, and for the most part, these students are met by our on-call deans. Often these students, again, may need notifications sent to instructors, so we can help in that way. We also encounter a number of students who have experienced a death in the family or a death of a loved one. And again, during that crisis, we know that students are trying to get out of town to go and be with family and friends to be able to support one another. And so that's another area where we can step in and just help communicate with instructors what's going on, helping them to, again, be able to go and focus on their family and friends whenever they need to do so. Many of our students also face crisis situations that cause some sort of financial need. And so we have the Tied Together Fund and the Acts of Kindness Student Emergency Fund that are available for students that are experiencing various financial emergencies as a result of a crisis situation. And any student can apply for these funds on our website at bamacares.ua.edu. Right on the front page, there is a button to get to the application to apply for these funds, as well as contacting our office. And so we'll have contact information at the end of this presentation that you can jot down or take note of. So we have illnesses, injuries, we have financial assistance. Oftentimes students reach a point where they just don't have enough food to eat. And so we can help students in need in this area as well. We have a program where if students are needing food, they can, through the same application program that I mentioned on our website, students can apply, and we work with Bama Dining, who is a great partner with us in this, to be able to transfer meal plan swipes to a student's action card so that they can go to the dining hall and get food to eat. We also have a small food pantry that is located here in our office. So if a student is in need of some food to eat, then before they leave the office, when they come and see us, we can give them food in hand to be able to take away. So we know, again, just that students will be facing various types of need. Life does not stop hitting with those bumps in the road while they are students at times, and we want to be able to help them with those things. Another area where we are available to help students is, many times a student might be here and they may meet a roommate or they may meet someone in their class who is just exhibiting behavior that is concerning to them. Perhaps they get to know students and they are interacting on social media and they see statements that another student is making about maybe harming themselves or just something that causes them to worry. And the question comes, who can I tell about this information? Who can I share this with that can step in and help students that we're worried about, students that we have concerns for? And this office, Student Care and Wellbeing, wants to be the place to collect that information so that any student that needs to report someone that they are concerned about, and this goes for parents and family, this goes for faculty and staff, anybody in the University of Alabama community that wants to report a student to us so that we can check in with them and try to intervene with that student as early as possible. That is the goal of communicating in this way, is so that we can provide early intervention to support that student, to help that student, and avoid any type of health situation escalating to a crisis when it doesn't have to. You can see on the slide here, there's a mention of the behavioral intervention team. The behavioral intervention team is not a part of our office, but Student Care and Wellbeing works closely with the BIT to communicate about students. This is a multidisciplinary team that meets weekly to discuss students that are involved in problematic or concerning or risky behavioral situations, and our office communicates with them so that we can all work together to reach out to students, to support students early and help them, just so that this community is as safe as it can possibly be. So again, just if there's any concern about or any question about, who is the office that we can call just to report students that we're concerned about, this is not a punitive situation. This is simply a situation that is designed to help and assist students that need help. So we've talked about our on-call deans assisting students in need, as well as our students of concern. The last area where we try to serve the university community is through our education and outreach. You can see the picture there on the slide is referencing our Cooking at Bama program. This was a program that we created for our students that have taken advantage of our Bama Cares for You program to receive meal assistance, to receive other forms of food assistance. We created an outreach program where we brought these students back together to learn how to cook healthy food on a low budget. And this is just one example of the things that we try to do. So if your student is on campus here or is a part of a student organization and could benefit from our office coming and speaking about some of the many services that we provide, then one of our staff can also be contacted just to come and talk about our services. We want to make everyone aware of who we are and what we do and how to access our programming so that we can support students and, again, just help them to have the best possible experience they can have while they're here at the University of Alabama. This is the conclusion of the summary that I have for Student Care and Wellbeing in our services. And I just appreciate the opportunity to share these things with you. And if there's anything at all that we can do for you, I'm going to transition to the last slide where it has our contact information. And we would love to hear from any of you if there's any questions that you have or anything that you'd like to speak with us about. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Jeremy. We really appreciate this information. And so you all now have the contact information for Student Care and Wellbeing. So if your student ever calls or emails you or texts you and at any hour of the day or night or any day of the year, feel free to direct them to the Office of Student Care and Wellbeing or they can actually be connected with the on-call dean through the police department, through the dispatch. So that's 205-348-5454. 205-348-5454. And they are happy to connect them with somebody who is on call, whether that's an on-call dean, an on-call housing staff member, or an on-call women and gender resource advocate. So we greatly thank you again for joining us for this webinar series, and we look forward to possibly seeing you in the spring for a spring webinar series. Thanks so much. Have a great day and roll Tide.